Welcome to another Sunday morning conversation, everybody. Today, my guests are Bobby and Lynn. They're the duo who run Ecosneakers. They're based here out of Smyrna, which is a suburb of Atlanta. We're going to learn about how to recycle shoes, whether it's going to be grinding them up or donating them to the homeless and other needy people. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you're in the Atlanta area, make sure you donate all your dad's shoes to Ecosneakers. You can put them in the bin at West Ride. Thanks, guys. Where's Bobby?
Hello. Bobby actually is on the road, and so he's not going to be able to, he's not connecting. Wherever he is not allowing him to connect. So he may be, I don't know that he's on. Bobby, are you there? No, I think he's dropped off. I was actually just on the phone with him. And so I think he's dropped off at this point.
Okay.
Really here, so yeah, unfortunately. So how are you today?
I'm good. It's still early, so we'll find out how the rest of it goes.
It is definite. So yeah, so Bobby is, we'll let him kind of be where he is. So he may fade back in. I will just kind of play it by ear, I guess.
Okay.
Well, it's great to meet you.
Yeah.
I studied a little bit about you to see kind of who you were and how you got to the point where you are. You have an interesting story.
I've been told that. You know, it's that cliche yearbook quote, what a long, strange trip it's been.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, nobody ever expects to be hit by a car, so, you know,
No,
that's what it is.
it is for sure. So tell me about yourself.
I'm a triathlete. I started in 2014, and I've been doing it ever since, other than getting hit by a car. I was running at West Ride, and that's how I came across you guys. That's where I met my ex-fiance, actually.
Oh, that's wonderful. We were going to ask you how you found out about Ecosneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I take all my dead shoes.
Excellent. Well, that's where and what we do is we take them and we repurpose them. So one of the big deals that we're doing right now is we're actually looking to get our own grinding machine where we can grind our own sneakers. You know, for a while, Nike was, we were partnering with Nike to get those ground, and now they're not doing it for the general public. And so we've been working with a company to create our own grinder, to design a grinder for us.
So when you grind them, what do you do with them then?
Well, there's different uses. They could be used as beanbag stuffing. They can be used as, like stuffed animal stuffing. They can actually be used as carpet padding, subflooring of basketball courts and volleyball courts and things like that. A lot of that padding can go into things like the construction material. You know, they have the padding that they use around their different construction sites. It actually goes into that. So it can be reused for quite a few things, even playground mulch, depending upon the size of the mulch.
So if you use it for playground mulch, what's the environmental impact of that? Like, I mean, it's not a biohazard or, anything like that, is it?
No, it's not. And that's one of the things that we're doing deeper in the studies. There's a couple of studies that are being done now, but there are sneaker materials that are put into a couple of playgrounds around the area. In fact, the Ponce Highland Playground has sneaker material as its flooring.
I don't have kids, so I wouldn't know. But I'm sure it's a lovely playground.
I'm a big kid because I go anyway.
See, I can't do that because if I do that, then they think I'm a pedophile.
Oh yeah.
I can't go to playgrounds all by myself. That's just weird, but it is what it is. I mean, what kind of? So I am a former architect. One of the things I like to do is sustainable design. So, between recycling, I get what you do, and I've used those kind of principles in my designs. But I know like for instance, asphalt is like 99% recycled, and the profit margin is really high. How are you profitable in doing this?
Well, as far as the sneakers go, so we do different things with the sneakers. So it's not just us repurposing them for playground material. We also take sneakers and we repurpose them for people that need shoes. It's not really a profit margin. We're not here for profit. We're here to keep the shoes out of the landfills. Now, we are self-funded. And so what that means is there are a small amount of shoes that we cannot use or get to different places here. We can't give away here in America. And so what we do is we work with an exporter. That exporter actually buys the shoes at a low cost, and then he sends them over to micro enterprises over in different countries. What they do is they repair the shoes or they clean them enough to where somebody in their countries can use them, and they resell them there. So we do that just a small portion of just to keep going for our everyday expenses. That's how we maintain what we do. And a lot of the things that we do with the shoes, for example, we just did a huge sneaker and backpack giveaway with Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Atlanta, and we did that back in July, the end of July. But we've been doing this for a very long time, so we give shoes to people that need them. So as far as profit margin go, we haven't really looked at the profit margins for the recycled material because we just started doing the grind. This is a brand new thing for us this year. And it was because Nike told us that they're no longer doing the grind for the public.
Explain to me more about how this grind works. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to picture this in my head. Are they dumping like a whole vat of shoes in, or are they sticking in a pair at a time and they grind them down? How does this work?
Well, it can be done a little bit of both, actually. What we did was we tested the grind by actually putting 21 pairs of sneakers. This is our first grind. 21 pairs of sneakers into a machine that they had set up for us, and we ground that whole set of materials into sneaker material. Basically, it's kind of an absorbent material. So you can use it for things like I said, you can use it for beanbag material, you can stuff furniture with it. There's so many things that you can do with that type of stuffing. And so
pieces, please. Mine are falling apart.
Yeah, exactly. Beanbag, I mean, all kinds of things, right? So yeah, and in fact, what I did, because of course I want to see it. I'm one of those people who want to touch it and feel it. So I took a couple of old pillows that I had, and of course the material is cleaned before we recycle it or before we grind it. But once we put it in there, I mean, it's great stuffable material. And I mean, why not use it for those things?
I guess I don't want to say profitability, but you are getting donations, so you're not paying for the shoes to begin with. So your overhead's lower.
Right. We get right. The shoe donations are free. I mean, we take them in.
That I go throw them in every couple of months. Yep.
Yeah, and what we do, we actually for West Drive, because they do fundraising with Girls on the Run, we actually fund some of the Girls on the Run's programs by taking those shoes in, and then if we were able to remarket them over, like I said, to the different countries, that amount that we take to remarket, we actually put towards their fundraising. So we send that over to Girls on the Run and help them with that, with their different expenses as well.
It's a good program.
It is. And I love doing what we do. And, we actually are on the grassroots level. So we not only do this, with different groups and everything, but we actually go out on a regular basis and we give shoes to people who are on the streets. We're actually going to be working with a church here locally, and, because they are right near one of our drop-off locations, we're going to be able to get shoes over to them and maybe even take some food to some of the people that are there as well. So, it's a noble endeavor. It really is.
Yeah, as long as you have their size, right?
Well, yeah, that helps.
That's so. All right, I'll pose that question, right? So I don't know how. I'm trying to figure out. You don't walk up to a homeless person. Like, are they in like a shelter and like you bring a whole sack of shoes, or?
Well, yeah, what we do is we usually bring shoes that can be reworn. But are not, that we disinfect them and everything. So these are shoes that actually can be reworn by someone. So they're not the greatest pair of shoes, but they are, new shoes to the people we're giving them to. And so what we do is we bring a whole bunch different sizes. And what they do is they basically shop the shoes. So there are times, we just go and maybe we see where there's homeless people, and we may not set right on top of them because they'll, they usually swarm in on us once they see what we're doing. So what we try to do is we quietly start putting things out, and they come and they see which pairs of shoes fit for them. And I've even had requests, y'all have a pair, size 12s or size 13s. So we've had that happen to us in the past.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure everybody likes to shop for shoes at some point. But I knew my ex. I met my ex at West Ride. I used to give her my credit card. Here, go buy something you like.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So yeah, I mean, it's a very good cause. So, I mean, what kickstarted all of this? When did you found it, and what was the whole driving principle behind it?
Yeah, actually, Bobby is the founder of the program, and that's why I wanted to have him on. But he, years ago, probably about 15 years ago, he was training for the Peachtree, and he was running, just downtown in the area, around Midtown, Piedmont area, I think. And he saw a man that did not have any shoes. And so he stopped and he said, he asked him, "Where's his shoes?" And the guy was like, "I don't have any." So he took his shoes off and gave them to him. And then he continued to run, to finish his run barefoot. But he's from a place where, they had to struggle to have pairs of shoes anyway. So
that was dumb luck that they were the right size, right?
Exactly. It was really strange. But and the guy, I think even if they weren't the right size, he would have just taken them anyway. But what was strange about that is Bobby understood what it meant to not have shoes, because he used to have to share his shoes with his brothers growing up. So yeah, it was a strange upbringing, and that's kind of why he was more sensitive to it. So once he did that, he ran on and went to the gym, and he got to the gym, and they're like, "Well, you can't work out without shoes." And so they said, "Oh, we got some shoes in Lost and Found. We'll let you use those shoes." And so what happened out of that was that they decided that they were going to put a box in the gym just in case there are people that, needed to use shoes. They had that box, a receptacle for shoes. And the idea was born from that. He started putting them in, other gyms, and then from, everybody, the word caught on. And then he started working with organizations where people needed shoes. Once he got too many, he wasn't gonna be able to wear them or reuse them for people that are in the gym. So he started to give them to people who needed them. So,
yeah,
and
I get that. So I'm from Ohio. My dad worked for General Motors for 40 years, and so did his brother, or my late uncle. And I've heard stories from them. There was a guy named Pee Wee there. Pee Wee was, not as well off. I don't remember all the details about it because it's been years since I've heard all the stories. But I remember the one where, I think one of my uncle's buddies, tossed his work boots. And the next day, Pee Wee came in with some work boots. He's like, "I know those don't fit you." And he had newspaper pushed into to make sure they fit. It's like you got them out of the trash. So
make it work.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly. And that's the way we've always thought of it. And, there's so many people here in it all over the world who don't have shoes. And what we do is a service to all of them. Being of service is the debt we pay for being here on earth, as far as I'm concerned. So this was I'm so blessed. I have 3 amazing sons. And when they all left out of the house, I had to figure out how to redesign myself, invent myself. And this Ecosneakers became my everything that I do and everything that I am. And they call me the environmentalist.
Is your house full of shoes? Is your house full of shoes? Come on.
No, I actually have a warehouse. I have a lot of shoes. But yeah, we have a warehouse, thank goodness, where we keep all the shoes. It used to be that we were housing them in the house, but it got to be too much. I couldn't see my living room. So, but yeah, so we've got a couple of warehouse locations that we are connecting in. And actually, we're doing an event right now. We're just finishing an event with URPT rehabilitation. And it's a countrywide event, so nationwide. And we've got, I think, 236 locations that we're working with, probably more that we don't know about yet, because they actually have 1,000 locations that participated in the sneaker donation. So we're bringing shoes in, and we're going to be able to get them to people that need them.
Being an empty nester, you really should downsize, because with all that space, you're just going to fill it.
No.
My parents did the same thing. They filled it.
I know.
And I said, well, when you leave now, I have to get rid of all that.
Right.
Well,
That's
we
what
just
we
did it for their parents. It's like, oh my God, this is just an endless cycle. I don't want to do that. That's why I'm very much a minimalist. If I don't need it, I get rid of it.
Right, right. And that's what we do. We don't keep the shoes here at all. We're able to find organizations that need shoes. We work with senior citizens organizations. We work with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the Girl Scouts. We've worked with former NFL players. And when they have organizations that they want to give to, we work with them as well. We are currently launching a program where we're working with the people that get stuck between the foster care system, the age out of foster care, but then they're not quite on the rolls for, whatever it is, government assistance. And so they're stuck in a place where they're not getting shoes, they're not getting fed. And so we're working with the program now to kind of expand and be able to get them shoes as well, working with some other vendors to make sure they get the new shoes that they need. So we work with new shoes and we work with used, not abused shoes. And then the abused shoes, of course, are the ones we're going to be crushing. So, or grinding, I guess I should say.
Yeah, the way that I run, I wear shoes out weird. So I don't know if you would consider them used or abused. I would hold one up, but I'm too lazy to go get one.
Oh, go. No worries. Just drop them off and we'll take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, when me and the ex split, I actually moved closer to West Ride. So I live not too far away now. I'm right.
Nice.
I'm on north side off of 41. I'm in Vinings.
We love West Stride and we love Vinings. That we are actually based out of Smyrna, so that's our favorite area. Of course, we love West Stride. We've done several programs with the former NFL players in the West Stride parking lot. So we'll hopefully we'll be doing one more coming up soon with that event as well. We're also going to be doing Livable Buckhead next week, where we're creating a sustainable parking day, a park out of one of the parking spaces. So we're doing that next week, and we're going to create a sustainable park made out of the different materials that we're working on, the grind materials.
Oh, that's great. So I guess last question is, what are your goals for the future?
Well, to have a factory where we can not only pull in shoes that need to be distributed across the country and across the world, but also to be able to grind our own shoes and be able to manufacture that product so it goes out to places that need to be supplied, playgrounds all over the country, and even, places where we can get the beanbag material and, even like construction materials. We want to do what we can to keep the shoes out of the landfill. 400 million pairs of shoes get thrown in the landfill every single year. And our goal, we actually have repurposed over 300,000 at this point, and we plan on doing more of that in the future, in the near future.
It's a great cause.
Thank you.
Well,
I love what I do.
Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. And if Bobby, you can hear me, it was good. You have a nice icon.
I know. So just want to say a couple things. If you need to reach out to us, we are actually on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram and YouTube. Look at us, look for us up with upcoming events. We'll be with the mayor's race in October. We're also doing Livable Buckhead on September 17th. So stop by and see us.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm always in town. So unless I'm racing, I'm being a triathlete, I'm always doing local stuff. But, winter's that's my 5K, 10K season.
Gotcha. Good. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you on some of the 5K, 10Ks.
Yeah, and maybe I'll see you at West Ride.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for this.
Yeah, you have a good week.
You too.